Greetings to one and all. It's your old buddy Jay here, coming at you with another episode of Countermeasures Jay Play. Here I am. Hello. I just wanted to post this because I've been playing a lot of Starfield on the Let's Plays, and I've done about, probably about 45 hours in the whole game. I've gone through the entire undercover side of the side mission or whatever, where you're working for the UC but you're infiltrating the Crimson Fleet. Now, there's a common bug that happens when you get to the very end of that part of the campaign, where you get to the command center and you're meant to trigger a conversation with Delgado, which enables you to kind of wrap the mission up and shoot him or spare him or however that works. Haven't quite done that bit yet. I kept getting to the point where I do all of that stuff. I do the space battles, go through the ship, kill everybody, loot everything, and then get to the command center, and I wasn't able to continue any further. The little dot for the mission continue was just in the middle of the room, so it hadn't registered that I was in the room, and Delgado was up the top, and sometimes he'd just be standing there behind glass. Other times he'd be fully ready with his weapon as if he was in combat. So I looked online and saw that this was quite a common bug, so I decided, well, I'm going to try and fix it, obviously, because I want to carry on the missions and I want to continue my story, and I don't want to go off and do a whole load of other missions with this thing kind of pending. It seems a bit weird, like the urgency of the mission, the urgency of your story, to suddenly go off and start like putting up posters in a, in another facility, just seemed a little bit daft. So I wanted to try and fix it. So I looked at all the different options. There were options like you could completely quit the game out and reload your save. That didn't work. There was an option where you could go out of the, you could trail all the way back through the ship, get back to your ship, decouple so that you're in space, stand up from your seat, then save it, then try and go back into the docking and go back through the ship so that it would reset the command center space, reset the mission. I did that about 5 times. That didn't work. Then I read that maybe it was something to do with if you're picking stuff up as you're going through the mission, that you have a bounty on you. So it's better to clear the bounty before you go into the final command center bit. So I got rid of all of my contraband, all the things that I nicked, and then I went to New Atlantis and I reset. I went to reset my my bounty, but I didn't have a bounty. So, and I'm sure if you do have a bounty, you reset it, it doesn't make any difference. So then I started reading that if you go through the mission, you're without your character, without your assistant character, that can sometimes help as well. So I tried all of these things, and none of them worked. And there was another one where you could fly your ship next to the Vigilance and save, and then go back on, and that sometimes resets certain parts of this particular mission. That didn't work either. So what I ended up doing was this. I went through my ship's inventory, and all of the people on my ship, so Barrett, Sarah and Vasco, and I took all of their stolen gear and just jettisoned it all out into space. So it was mainly like ammo and the odd bit of clothing or whatever, so nothing important. So I got rid of all of that. I then left Sarah on the ship. She was my companion for a lot of this mission. When I don't know if something to do with her coming through is triggering something a little too early, which was causing some problems. I don't know. So rather than her be messing around, I just got rid of her. I went through the entire. I reset back to before I started this mission, particularly not the space battle, but just before you get onto the key, and I went through and massacred everybody, and then basically just did not pick up one thing. The only things I interacted with were the computers to open doors and the guy with the bomb in his chest who wants you to help him. I didn't pick anything up whatsoever, no ammo, didn't loot anybody's, I just left everything, and then went all the way through the game, and I got to here and it triggered and it seemed to have worked. So that is my hot tip for how to get this. I mean, it might be different for different people. This is on an Xbox specifically, so I don't know if that makes any difference. I'm sure it does, and I'm sure there's workarounds for PCs, but for this, that is how I managed to get around of it after about 3 or 4 hours of messing around, and actually almost just thinking, well, I've got 50 other games on the shelf that I want to go and play. Do I really need to continue trying to troubleshoot this when it's just broken? And actually that did solve it. So I think the other thing I did is, when I was doing the firefights, the last kind of 4 or 5 people you fight before you get to this room, I was very conscious to kind of draw them away from the room, because sometimes when I was coming into this command center for my other attempts, Delgado was ready to fight, and I was wondering if just something stupid like stray bullets or something that were hitting the outer side of the building, sort of the back of his office, or you know, that door that you just saw, was somehow triggering him into action, which was causing some kind of conflict. So anyway, maybe that had nothing to do with it, but I was very conscious of not doing that well, just in case that was causing a problem. And I sort of followed those those guidelines. It's a bit hit and miss, but it did work. So I just wanted to say that is a solution if anyone's looking for one. Anyway, that's all I've got for now. So until next time, be good, stay safe, and be kind to one another. Peace out, be gone. No, I'm still here.